Today, we will explore Canadian parks so surreal, so impossible that you will genuinely start questioning what planet you're on.
And these aren't just the pretty views, we will actually travel through the ice kingdoms, volcanic zones, and fossil time capsules, as well as wild sanctuaries.
These places will change the way you understand nature.
Let's go!
If Canada has an ultimate wild place, this is it. When you arrive in the Torngat Mountains, the first thing you notice is how epic it is. Mountains rise straight out of the freezing Atlantic, carved by fjords so deep and narrow they barely look real. This landscape is world's second oldest rock formation on the planet. It's 4 billion years old. Fog rolls through the glacial valleys in the morning. Whales cruise along the Labrador Sea, and at any moment you might spot a polar bear roaming the shoreline. This is one of the best places in the world to see polar bears in the wild. So visitors are required to travel with Inuit bear guards, whose deep knowledge of the land ensures both safety and respect for its wildlife. What makes Torngat so surreal is the atmosphere. The name Torngat comes from the Inuktitut word, meaning place of spirits. And everyone who's been there say it genuinely feels like that. Hiking there will open the door to an ancient world long before humans existed. The only time to visit this park is from mid-July to late August. This is the only time when the Torngat Mountains base camp operates. You fly into Goose Bay, then take a charter flight north of Saglag, and then from there a boat takes you into the fjords. There are no roads, only ocean and mountains. And that's exactly what makes it so surreal. Before we explore our next surreal park, I want to quickly tell you about something that makes traveling so much easier, especially if you're someone who crosses borders often or you're planning your big trip to Canada. If you want to stay connected without getting slammed with roaming charges, I recommend the new Holofly plans. It's a monthly eSIM subscription created for global travelers who want one simple setup that works in more than 160 countries. So, if you're someone who travels a lot, or you're a digital nomad, or a remote worker, or an international student who needs stable data across borders, Holofly plans are perfect for you. Holofly plans come in two options, so you can choose the data package that fits your travel style. The Lite plan is best for everyday use, like maps, emails, calls, and social apps. And the higher capacity unlimited plan is designed for heavy users who stream, work remotely, hotspot multiple devices, or travel full-time. No more swapping eSIM cards or paying random airport kiosks. You install your eSIM once and it works seamlessly across Canada, the US, Europe, Latin America, Asia, pretty much everywhere. You keep your usual number for calls and texts while your data runs through Holofly's network. See, most providers say unlimited, but it's actually capped. Holofly gives you high-capacity, reliable data with no hidden limits. If you stream, work on the go, or travel full-time, this is a game changer. There are no restrictions, so you can hotspot your laptop and even share data with your travel partner. Their flexible billing means no long-term commitment. It renews automatically, but you can cancel anytime and your plan stays active until the end of the billing cycle. And if you ever need help, they offer 24/7 customer service in multiple languages, so you're never left feeling disconnected. There's a link in the description where you'll get 10% off Holofly plans with a monthly subscription and 5% off any other eSIM with promo code MAKETHATCHANGE. If you're planning a trip to Canada or honestly traveling anywhere and want a simple, reliable way to stay connected without crazy roaming fees, check out Holofly plans at the link in the description.
Wells Gray is one of those places that completely transforms depending on the season. And for the most part, most people only see the usual summer version of it, when its park is at its busiest. July and August are the peak season. That's when the roads are fully open, the forests are the brightest green, and the waterfalls are the most abundant. It's beautiful, but that's not why this place made it on our list. Wells Gray is on this list of surreal places because of what happens here in the winter. When the temperature drops, this park turns into something mythical. The star of the show is the Helmkin Falls. And if you've never seen it in winter, you'll be completely mind-blown. This waterfall crashes into the canyon so forcefully that the mist freezes and builds into a giant ice cone mid-air, sometimes 40 or even 50 meters tall. It pretty much looks like a frozen volcano erupting from the gorge. As a result, the entire canyon transforms into a white and blue fantasy world. Mist freezes mid-air, forming tiny crystals that catch the light as you walk through them. Icicles the size of tree trunks hang from the cliffs, and smaller waterfalls turn into frozen curtains, like something pulled straight from the Ice Queen's palace. They say that even your breath feels different, since the air is heavier due to the suspended frost. The best part about this park, unlike the ones that we've already mentioned, is that you don't need to be an extreme adventurer to see it. The road to the main viewpoint is plowed in winter, and you can walk right up to the edge of the canyon to see the ice cone towering beneath you. It can get rather cold and intense, but it's also ultimately rewarding.
The moment your plane lands on Haida Gwaii, the air feels instantly different, salty, earthy, and full of mist. You will see towering cedar trees, moss-draped branches, and the remains of ancient Haida villages that line the coast and forest. This place is often called the Galapagos of the North, and it truly earns the name. Many species that exist here exist nowhere else on the planet due to its long isolation from the mainland. Unique birds, plants, and even a special subspecies of black bear that's larger and stronger than mainland bears. The waters around the islands are also full of orcas, humpbacks, sea lions, and salmon. If you get lucky, you might even see whales breaching right off the rocky coastline. By the way, if you like Canadian wildlife and you like this sweatshirt, you can grab it from our merch store just below this video. A special mention must be given to the local culture. Gwaii Hanas is co-managed by Parks Canada and the Haida Nation that protect ancient Haida village sites, which are a UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Here you can still see weathered cedar poles standing where they were originally raised, some depicting clan crests, animals, and family histories carved by Haida ancestors more than 150 years ago. The best time to come here is from June to September. That's when boats and guided tours are available. Most people fly into Sand Spit or Masset, then join a zodiac or sailing trip into Gwaii Hanas. The combination of rainforest, ocean, wildlife, and indigenous culture makes this place one of the most unique places in the world, not just in Canada.
The next park is the place that is said to humble you in the best way possible. Imagine that you're paddling down a river that slices between canyon walls almost a kilometer high. That's the South Nahanni River. It's wild and powerful, and it flows through 4 massive canyons of the Nahanni National Park Reserve. And just when you think it can't get more epic, you reach Virginia Falls. These falls are twice the height of Niagara. The water literally explodes into a cloud of glowing mist when it drops down. The impact is so powerful that you can feel it vibrate through your chest if you're standing nearby. Nahanni is full of strange natural features: steaming hot springs, weird limestone formations called tufa mounds, and narrow gorges completely untouched by humans. The Dene people have lived on this land for thousands of years. Many of the cliffs, rivers, and valleys here have names and stories that go back generations, passed down through oral history and lived experiences. Much later, during the early 90s, gold seekers ventured into the region chasing rumors of hidden riches. One remote valley earned a chilling nickname, the Valley of the Headless Men. This was when some bodies were found under mysterious circumstances. Some were without their heads. The depths were never fully explained, and over time, these stories turned into this legend. It added a layer of eerie folklore to the landscape that already felt ancient, powerful, and full of things that we still don't fully understand. Summer is the only time to go here, roughly June to early September. You'll need to fly into Fort Simpson, then you'll take a float plane over the canyons that will drop you near the falls, where you'll begin your multi-day river adventure. Whether you're into rafting, paddling, or hiking and camping, Nahanni is one of the most visually powerful places on Earth.
This next place on our list is absolutely wild, in the most literal sense possible. Cape St. Mary's is home to one of North America's largest seabird colonies, and when you walk the short trail to the cliffs, it's like entering a living storm of wings, sounds, and, I have to warn you, bird poop. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Imagine standing just a few meters away from tens of thousands of northern gannets, murres, and kittiwakes packed onto a giant sea stack rising straight from the Atlantic. Birds are circling, diving, calling, landing. It feels like a blizzard made of feathers. The sky moves, the cliffs move, the whole scene is alive. We're in Newfoundland, so the fog is a common visitor here too. It rolls in from the ocean, swallowing the cliffs and birds, and then pulls back like a live curtain that reveals everything all over again. With crashing waves and the thick, salty air, it feels less like sightseeing and more like a fully immersive experience, where you can smell, feel, breathe, and even hear the wild Atlantic all around you. June to August is the peak season when the cliffs are packed with birds caring for their chicks. Getting here is fairly straightforward. You fly into St. John's and then drive about 2 hours southwest to the reserve. It's a short walk from the parking lot, but visually it's one of the most intense encounters with nature you will ever have.
Kluane looks like it was designed to make humans feel insignificant. When you're in this place, massive mountains are pretty much everywhere you can see. And you can see pretty far thanks to the clear air. This park holds the largest non-polar ice fields on Earth and hosts Canada's highest peak, Mount Logan. This is the ultimate glacier kingdom. Crevices are literally the size of buildings, blue ice glitters in the sun, and as we zoom into the ground, you could find grizzly bears digging for roots in the spring, or dull sheep sprinkled along the alpine ridges, and lakes sitting still in the perfect shades of blue and green. The best time to come to this national park is June through September. This is when the roads and trails are accessible, and the days literally last forever. Most people fly into Whitehorse, drive 2 hours to Haines Junction, and then explore from there.
Wapusk National Park is described as the true kingdom of the polar bear. This subarctic region is one of the largest polar bear denning areas in the world, where mother bears dig dens in the snow and give birth to tiny cubs in midwinter. As late February and March approaches, those cubs emerge for the first time, so wobbly and fluffy. The landscape here looks simple: flat tundra, snowdrifts, and frozen spruce trees bending in the wind. And it's all incredibly alive. Arctic foxes dart through the snow, migratory birds fill the wetlands in the summer, and wolves leave clean tracks across the ice. And during the night, the sky explodes with auroras dancing throughout the winter. Wapusk is true polar bear territory, and access is only permitted through licensed tour operators. You can't just wander in. You really shouldn't try, because we don't mess with polar bears. Everything starts in Fort Churchill, Manitoba. It's a remote town with no year-round road access. Most visitors fly in from Winnipeg and then join a helicopter or tundra buggy tour operated by companies authorized to enter the park. This place is super remote, it's harsh, and wildly beautiful. It's a true Arctic experience that you will remember forever. And here's one park that I really want to mention, but it couldn't make the main list, mainly because visually it's not as extreme as the others. But it's one of the most magical parks in Canada for wildlife. Point Pelee is the southernmost point of mainland Canada, and it really feels like it. The forest is warm, lush, and almost tropical. It's filled with vines, tulip trees, and plants you likely won't see anywhere else in the country. In spring, millions of migratory birds funnel through this park, making it one of the best birding hotspots known in North America. The most surreal moment happens in September, when thousands of monarch butterflies gather at the very tip of the park, waiting for perfect wind to cross Lake Erie. You can stand among trees literally covered in butterflies, branches drooping under their weight, and then suddenly, the entire cluster lifts into the sky like orange confetti. It's absolutely breathtaking. Point Pelee is small, and it's the most accessible place on our list. And unlike anything else in Canada, it's a warm, magical escape tucked into the deep southwest of Ontario. So, which park blew your mind the most? For me, it has to be Point Pelee, because it has this magical energy that you can just can't find anywhere else. And I still need to take Anastasia there to show her the park and its beautiful beaches. If you've ever visited any of these places, or maybe you're planning to, let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and check the next video that the algorithm prepared for you. And I'll see you there. Take care.